2, 1. This is Chargers Unleashed podcast. Here are your hosts, Dan Wolkenstein and Jake Hefner.
Welcome to another edition of Chargers Unleashed. Jake Hefner and Dan Wolkenstein here with you from the LAFB Network. Today's show, of course, being brought to you by BetOnline, Charger Bowl family, rock solid sports memorabilia. If this is your first time tuning into the show, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button on YouTube. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Dan Wolkenstein, it's been a minute since we've had a special guest on the show, outside of us being at training camp when we had Mike Williams live, but we said it. We teased it a little bit. There were some other special guests coming at this part of camp. And what better way to get ourselves geared up for the second preseason game between the Dallas Cowboys and the Los Angeles Chargers than bringing in a very, very special guest that has been setting camp on fire. Dan Wolkenstein, as usual, give me the deets.
DeAndre Carter season, wide receiver / special teams ace. DeAndre Carter is going to be joining us on Chargers Unleashed. Can't wait to talk to him about some of the things he's seen at camp, his teammates, what it's like going up against some of the defenders on this team, coaching staff. We'll get into all kinds of stuff. And we'll even get to know him on a personal level. We got some fun things in store. DeAndre Carter coming up next. But Jake, before we get there, got to pay the bills. Over under how many touchdowns DeAndre Carter gets in training camp. I believe he's already at 7 at least.
Is that including the one that he had in practice earlier
I believe
today?
That's including the one today. So let's go with 11. Over under 11.
I'll go over.
Let's go.
Screw it. I'm a betting man. I'll go over. All right. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to wager on all of your favorite sports contests and events with first-to-market odds and lines. Find reviews and news for every league, including Major League Baseball, NFL, NBA, NHL, UFC, esports, and even golf. BetOnline continues to be the top online resource for all of your sports information, from live in-game betting, props, and futures. Head on over to BetOnline today or use your mobile device and join and make your first sports bet using the promo code BELIEVE. That's BLEAV50 to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, where the game starts.
Chargers wide receiver special teams ace DeAndre Carter coming up next on Chargers Unleashed. Chargers training camp, day number 14 in the books. Figured now would be a great time to bring in one of the stars of Chargers training camp. Wearing the number 82, kick returner, wide receiver, but just an all-around offensive weapon. DeAndre Carter joins us on Chargers Unleashed. DeAndre, thanks so much for joining us. How are you? How's the Southern California vibe treating you?
I appreciate you guys for having me on. But it's good. Can't beat this weather out here. One of the better training camps I've been a part of weather-wise. But I'm loving it so far. It's been great.
I love it. Now, before we go any further, I got to ask, DeAndre, Dre, I've seen highlight reels, people calling you like Mr. Carter. What do you prefer to go by these days?
Most people call me Dre. I get DC a little bit in the building sometimes, but Dre for the most part.
Okay, good to go. All right, so we'll call you Dre from now on in this interview. We're going to talk about all kinds of stuff in this. We're going to have some fun. We'll talk about your time in LA so far, impressions of the coaching staff, integrating into the offense, special teams, all that kind of stuff. But let's just kind of start off with today's camp. Another touchdown for you today. I believe it was like a deep pass. I believe that makes it no less than 7 touchdowns already for you at camp. What were some of your takeaways from today's camp?
Come off the first preseason game, guys just want to get back out there, get back in the rhythm of everything. Make sure we're sharp offensively. We had a great day today. Like you said, that last play, I want to say Chase threw it. Big, deep pass at the end of the 2-minute drill. So, great day.
So is that 7 touchdowns for you now?
Might be a little more than 7. But
Okay, fine. All right, so you're laying it up at camp, obviously, earning praises from Justin Herbert, Brandon Staley, Joe Lombardi, the whole coaching staff, just about everybody covering the team, really. Justin talked about how quickly you've picked up the offense. Has it maybe surprised you at all how quickly you've seemed to impact the team, specifically on offense?
I wouldn't say it surprised me per se, but I think, I've been on a few teams, and a lot of times I get there, they kind of see me as a return specialist, which has been my way, how I've been able to stay in the league, primarily. But I can play offense too. I play receiver, that's my primary position coming into the league. And just being able to come in and the first thing is picking up the offense, which I've been able to do pretty well. You know, I'm a kind of a football junkie guy, so I'm pretty good at picking up offenses here and there. So, you know, once I got that under my belt, now you just go out there, you play free, being able to show, you know, display your talents and stuff like that. I think that's what you guys have been able to see, and, you know, been vibing with Justin, trying to make plays, so trying to get in the groove of things.
And DeAndre, let's rewind the tape a little bit to your initial conversations with the Chargers. Take us into your meetings with the Chargers prior to signing. What were those conversations like? What did you talk about? Did Brandon Staley talk about, you know, what he envisioned for your potential role to be in? And how did Coach Staley and Coach Lombardi envisioning you fitting in with this offense?
Yeah, I think originally when I first signed here, they were looking for a guy to fill the returner, you know, the returner void. Dre Roberts wasn't coming back. And then, you know, talking to Coach Lombardi, they just wanted a guy that could bring something to the offense, you know, whether it be in the run game, speed sweeps, anything like that, receiver play. I think kind of that role will kind of increase, you know, based off of, you know, my production and stuff here and there. But it's been good. It's been going well so far. And, you know, being able to get out there and give Keenan a spell when he needs one, and make plays when I get the opportunity.
You mentioned Keenan Allen, and obviously this being your first year with this team, a lot of new faces for you on offense, but there's been a lot of new faces you've had to go up from a defensive perspective as well, and especially in the secondary. Through the first couple of weeks of camp, who's been giving you the best battle on the field so far?
I mean, J.C. Jackson is all, you know, he's J.C. He's, you know, everything that, you know, is advertised. He's going to be great for us this year. A couple of the young guys been having good camps. Dean's been doing pretty well. Bryce Callahan is a tricky matchup in the secondary in the slot. You know, me and him, we see each other a lot. He's a savvy vet. So that's a matchup I always look forward to going against.
I love you've talked about earlier some of the things that attracted you to coming to the Chargers. Like you talked about the importance of having the opportunity to win, you know, maybe your relationship with some of the players, kind of the pieces already that are in place. Now that you've been here for a bit, like, has it all lived up to your expectations? Like, what are some of the things about some of your teammates or coaching staff that maybe have like surprised you so far, or things that you weren't expecting?
It's been everything that I expected and more. You know, it's definitely lived up to the hype. But honestly, I would say the thing that surprised me the most, or that's been the most rewarding for me, is how close knit, you know, our locker room is. You know, just hanging out with the guys. You know, you don't. I've been a few teams and you don't see that everywhere. But we've been becoming a real team here in training camp. And that bond that we have, you know, teammate to teammate, you know, from the first guy on the roster to the last guy on the roster, I think it's going to be, you know, a big tell to our success this year.
You talked about kind of the vibe and how close knit the team is. Like specifically, whether it's players, coaching, whatever it is, like what are some of the things that make you guys close knit or that stand out to you that kind of separate this roster in the camaraderie versus maybe what we've seen previously?
Yeah, I would say, and it's, you know, it's different from team to team, but when you get in the locker room and everybody knows you got a legitimate shot, you know, to be good, to do something special, that goes a long way into bringing guys, you know, closer together, people buying into the system. We got a lot of vets in our locker room that's helping bringing the young guys along, which goes a long way. That's a big part of being successful, because the young guys got to get up to speed and learn the ins and outs of the NFL, and as vets, you know, definitely can, you know, help, you know, aid that process.
I do have to ask real quick. You've been on some teams in the past. Roster wise, I know Coach doesn't like to use the word talent. You guys want to be dominant. Is this the most dominant roster that you've played on?
By far, yeah. By far, it's not close. I mean, talent-wise, the coach doesn't like to use talent. You know, we're a bunch of hard-working guys, but talent-wise, top to bottom, definitely the best roster I've been a part of since I've been in the league.
DeAndre, a week ago you were talking about studying Keenan Allen. You had even mentioned that you've been picking some moves from him for the last couple of years or so in his study of him. And I'm sure it goes both ways with you and him and the rest of the wide receiver group. But tactically, what sort of techniques have you been able to gain from Keenan, and what are some of the techniques and abilities that you've begun to share with your teammates?
Yeah, so from Keenan, like I said, I've been working out with him for, you know, a few years now. I would say, you know, a couple of things I like to pick up from him is just the pace that he plays at. he's always under control, and he's playing at his pace, his speed. And that's within the route, changing the pace of your route. And then at the top of the route, giving different moves that have set up this route, that have set up the next route, has definitely been something that I've been trying to, take from Keenan and add to my game. And for me, what I've been adding, I'm a big speed, burst, explosive, guy. So I've been trying to, help the young guys with that a little bit, being able to use that to separate the top of routes and stuff like that. Once you putting your foot in the ground, go. That's how you create that separation.
Nice. Now, when Dan and I have been there at camp, we've noticed that especially when Coach Fitkin gets on the field and starts running special teams drills, that it's gone much smoother than what it has in years prior. Now, given your experience with some of the takeaways that you've gotten from Coach Fitkin or the personnel as a whole, and translating that to the field, how will that translate to what we see from you and the rest of this unit on the field?
I think we'll be a very, much improved special teams unit, in all four phases. I think Coach Fick is going to have obviously a big part of that. He runs practice like, some of the better special teams units that I've been a part of. You kind of feel it. You can see it. I've been around a little while, so I know what it's supposed to look like. And we definitely have that here. And a lot of it is just based on having guys that's bought into the system, the effort. As special teams is big effort plays. And once everybody gets comfortable in the system, I think you'll be able to see it translate to success on the field.
Now, I'm dying to know. I feel like being a punt returner, kick returner, especially kick returner, you got a lot of stuff coming at you, and all of a sudden, the entire field feels like it's about to blow you up. But take us into the mindset of a kick returner. When you catch the ball, what do you look for? What's your tendency between catching it and then getting to the end zone? Yeah, so kick return and punt return is a lot different. Punt return, you got a little bit more freedom of where you want to run. There's always a design to it, but it never hits where it's supposed to hit on punt return. So it's a little bit more freedom to get the freestyle a little bit. Kick return, you kind of want to set it up because there's going to be a design hole that you're supposed to hit. And if it's blocked up correctly, 9 times out of 10 you'll get to that hole. So you kind of want to catch the ball, set the return so you can set up your blocks to make their job easier, because blocking on kick return is by far the hardest job in the NFL to me. But being able to set those guys' blocks up to make their jobs a little easier, and then finding the crease and hitting it. And then once you get to see the hole or see the crease, you got to hit it full speed. Okay, last question. We're going to get into DeAndre Carter. We're going to get into some hot takes, cold beer. It's a fun new segment we've added to the show. But I got to ask, touchdown to the crib. Would you rather do it on special teams or on offense?
Special teams, for sure.
Oh, okay. I got to ask, why? What makes special teams? Is that just because it's so rare?
It's so rare. It doesn't have. You'll probably get maybe 5 a year in the entire league. You know what I'm saying? So it's not. It don't happen all the time, and it's a big momentum shift for your team in the game. Like 100%. I think the percentage that you win the game when you score on special teams is something crazy. So yeah, special teams for sure.
All right, you want to be a part of that. All right, let's get into some ways to get to know you a little bit better. Yeah. Hot takes, cold beer, inaugural segment. So how this basically works: hot takes means that you agree. Cold beer means that you disagree with the statement. We're gonna give you a list of statements. You're gonna tell us hot takes, cold beer, and feel free to expand however you'd like. All right.
Okay. Yep.
Number 1, we're going to start off hot here. Pineapple belongs on pizza.
Hot take, definitely, 100%. I don't eat pizza without pineapple.
That's the right answer.
Dan Wolkenstein just became a very happy man right now.
All right. Dre is a better wide receiver than kick returner.
Oh, that's tough. Hot take. I'm going to go hot take.
So you agree. So you're a better wide receiver.
Yeah, I'm going to go hot take.
Nice.
Love it. All right, last one from me, then we'll kick it over to Jake for a bit. Braden Fajoko has the worst music taste on the entire roster.
Hot take. Big hot take. Big.
I love it.
I don't know about, some of the locker room. Bray controls the music a lot, and we had some iffy days in there. I'm just saying.
What's the iffiest day? What's the thing where you're like, that's peak Fajoko?
Let me see. He'll throw on some Miley Cyrus here and there. Nothing against Miley Cyrus, just not a locker room vibe type thing. You know what I'm saying? So.
I'm waiting for the wrecking ball chorus to come on.
It's a good transition from music because I know a lot of guys on the team are big Meek Mill's fans. So, hot takes, cold beer. Meek Mill is the best artist to listen to pregame to get hyped.
Hot take. My pregame song is "I'm a Boss" by Meek Mill.
Let's go.
There it is.
Yeah.
All right. Justin Herbert's barbecue skills. Hot takes, cold beer.
I haven't personally had it, so I'm gonna say I can't say.
Okay.
I haven't personally had it.
That's good. DeAndre Carter is the quickest player on the Chargers. Hot takes, cold beer.
Definitely hot take. I'm gonna take hot take.
All right.
Who's second?
Second quickest, quick or fast? That's different. Quick.
Either one. Let's go both. Let's go both.
Yeah.
Fast. I'm gonna say JG's faster than me. Guyan. Quickest. I'm gonna go Ek, just because it's Ek. Yeah.
Fair. Okay, so this is a two-part question because obviously got to know this first part before I ask you the hot takes, cold beer part. But number one, what's your favorite movie genre?
My favorite movie genre. I'm gonna go rom-com.
Go rom-com.
I'm gonna go rom-com.
Rom-com. Okay, this was not one that I was expecting.
I was not expecting this one.
I was expecting something a little bit easier to make one out of this. So this is an interesting one for me. Okay.
When Harry met Sally, Jake. Let's hear.
See, that's what I was getting towards. Or like Seattle, sleeping in Seattle, we could have pulled that one.
The proposal.
You know what? This isn't going to be a hot takes cold beer question because I wasn't prepared for it. Now I'm going to ask. Now I need to know what's your favorite rom-com movie.
Favorite rom-com? I'm gonna go Hitch.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very good choice. Very good choice. Okay.
I'll take that.
Back to the hot takes cold beer. Keenan Allen is the biggest hype man on the Chargers offense. Hot takes cold beer.
Hot take.
Who's the worst? Who's the one that tries to be a hype man but it just falls flat?
I got nobody for you.
Smart man.
I'm not gonna throw my teammates under the bus.
That's a good teammate. We're wrapping up with DeAndre Carter. Dre, you were born in San Jose. I lived there for a bit. Now you're in LA. Hot takes, cold beer. Southern California has the best cuisine.
I'm gonna go hot take. I've been living in SoCal for about 4 years now, so I like the food down here better than up north.
But if you're up in the Bay Area, San Jose, what was your go-to spot?
It's a taco spot called La Vida. It's pretty good up there.
Oh, now you're speaking my language. All right, Dre, thank you so much. You are off the hot seat. Hot takes, cold beer segment is complete. Dre, thank you so much for tuning in with us and joining us. This has been super fun. Glad to get to know you a little bit better. Let the fans get to know you a little bit better. Yeah. Anything else you want to tell the great friends of Chargers fandom, Bolt fam, as we get ready for the second preseason game against the Cowboys?
It's going to be a good game, great season. Come out, support. We're going to need all the love that we can get from you guys. It's going to be a great season for us. Come out there.
I love it. DeAndre Carter, your offensive weapon and special teams ace. DeAndre, thank you so much for tuning in, for joining us, and we will talk to you soon. Best of luck this season, all right?
Appreciate it.
Thanks, DeAndre.